Hey, Hugo here. So let's talk about our brand packages. Sometimes people will kind of say that our document is a little bit dense and there's a lot there and they have a hard time making sense of it. And so this is really meant to be a walkthrough of what are the different packages, what do I get at different price points, and who's kind of fits the profile, the type of agent who chooses each one. So let's get started. Let's get into the startup package, which we offer at $375 a month. This one I think is really tailored to the agent who doesn't necessarily have a really strong CRM or sphere. If you haven't been taking really great records of who all those past clients are, this is where you start. We're really sort of focused on your farm, right? We're thinking about up to 3 geographies, and geographies just means send us what you have. So if it's a zip code or it's a neighborhood or a city, however you're thinking about it, shoot it over and we'll kind of translate it into what we need. But this is the ability to target up to 3 of those. You could say, hey, I just have one city that I really care about. Cool, we'll do that. But this one is really dedicated to people who live in this area, whatever you target, and who have an interest in luxury real estate. That's kind of the dimensions we're using. You live here and you're someone who's into luxury real estate. Growth, which is one level above that, is really introduced with you having a CRM that's robust enough. And robust is, I know it's like, what does that mean? Typically, if you have more than 300-ish email addresses, this is where we think that's robust. I would say the average agent that we work with has between 500 to 800 email addresses. The huge CRMs are like over 1,000 to 3,000. But I would say as long as you have more than 300, that's great. Having more email addresses and contacts doesn't cost more. It's sort of one set price. But I would say of all the things we do, this is head and shoulders above everything else in terms of effectiveness and stickiness. So because we're month to month on everything we're on, we don't do 1-year contracts or anything. It's really easy for us to see the things that agents keep buying over and over and the things that they might try out for a month or two and then kind of be like, yeah, that didn't work. And this growth package, being able to target both geographies that are your farm and being able to target your your CRM is the thing that agents just really love and stick with. Why that is, I think, is because it's hitting 2 sides. It's hitting that awareness and making sure that people know you exist in your farm, which is important, but also being able to promote retention, repeat business. Like that's a really big one because it feels kind of magical to the consumer because they don't know how you're targeting them, right? What you did is you took a copy of your, all these email addresses in your CRM or Sphere, and you pass them over to us. What we do is we then take that list of, call them 500 email addresses, and we map those email addresses to devices that are tied to them. So I know that Hugo at, legionlab.co is this iPhone, that iPad, that laptop. And so I'm going to want to serve ads on those devices. When the consumer sees the ad on their phone, they don't know how it got there. They're just like, oh my God, that's my real estate agent from 2 years ago, and I just got her ad on my phone. How ridiculous is that? So a lot of times agents, for all the marketing they do, they have a really hard time knowing whether it's effective or not. And what we saw a ton of was agents getting text messages, getting screenshots, getting emails from their past clients going, oh my God, I got your phone. I got your ad on my phone. And they have no idea how we're connecting those dots. They think it's more serendipity than anything else, but it's very much on purpose and it allows you to just kind of stay top of mind with all those past clients who, it might have been sometimes as you worked with them. And I mean, to me, like this is perfect. If you're also doing newsletters, if you're also doing direct mail, if you're doing everything else, this is just one more layer to that cake that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think 90% of my conversations with agents, I steer them towards growth because it's the thing that just people are the happiest with. But why would you ever spend more than 500 with us? That's because you would go for scale at 1,000 a month. This to me is really used often by teams and by agents who are running at growth going, oh my God, this is working. I want to double down. How can I spend more and still do this? The thing that you kind of unlock at that scale campaign is we allow you, one, unlimited geographies. So, you've got 3 cities, 6 cities, whatever. You're still doing your retargeting of your CRM, but we introduced the idea of enhanced targeting. And really here, because we use Google for a lot of our backend, we're not using Facebook, we're not using Instagram, we're using Google. Google knows a lot about everyone, right? You think about Gmail, you think about YouTube, you think about like Google search. And so one of the really crazy, creepy, but also helpful insights is that they know the apps installed on your phone and they know the websites you visit, the website who send you email. And so we'll have agents who say, hey, I really want to be able to not just target this geography and the people who live here who are interested in luxury real estate. I also want to target people who are attorneys. I want to target people who are university professors, people who are C-level executives. How do I do that? enhanced targeting allows us to be able to choose specific apps and websites and go, okay, I want to target people who are frequent readers of the Harvard Business Review, very likely a C-level executive. So we can get crazy effective with these ads and go beyond just location and really think about the profiles of the types of people that we're targeting. And again, this is for agents who've already seen a lot of traction, they want to kind of go harder, or for teams who say, okay, you know, I think this is really cool and there's enough of us to be able to support it, so that really makes sense. There's a ton of add-ons that we kind of allow you to sort of build on top of these 3 sort of packages, but we'll go over them in a different video. I think for now, I think this is a really good recap of where everything sits. And really quickly, if probably should have put this in the beginning, not in the end, but the way I think about it, startup is great if you don't have a really great CRM. Growth is for you if you have a really good CRM, and the most sticky thing we run, people love it. And then scale is really for teams and for people who've already seen a lot of traction and just want to double down. Cool. Well, that was it. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to hit us up at nerds@legionlab.co. Cool. All right. Talk to you next time.